This is Rachel Dworkin from the Chemung County Historical Society. Today is July 9th, 2020, and I'm here interviewing...
This is Jennifer McGonigal, Executive Director, Elmira Downtown Development.
Okay, and this is for the COVID Memory Project. Jennifer, can you explain to us exactly what it is that your organization does?
For the city of Elmira?
Yeah.
So Elmira Downtown Development is the business improvement district for the city of Elmira. So basically what we do is we manage this 52 block of what is considered the central business district. And by that we apply for grants for redevelopment. We hold many special events to basically our goal is to get people downtown and gather, and we're responsible and work closely with City of Elmira's buildings and grounds with streetscape enhancements.
Okay, and you also do Wisner Market.
Yep, so this is one of our special events where we are today. This is Wisner Market. This is our 23rd year, right here in the heart of the city, and it's a weekly farmers market with an emphasis on lunch in the park.
Okay. How has COVID impacted your organization and the business district that you represent?
Okay, so I'm going to touch on the organization itself and what we usually do at this time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And we really are the special events organization for the city of Elmira. So at this point, we would be hosting not only Wisner Market, which we're here today, but we would be doing a street painting festival, which brings thousands of people down. We would be having an Alive After 5 concert series. So the COVID really, without being able to gather, we gather people. That's really what our main goal is, to gather people and bring them into the downtown district. And so when COVID hit in March, we had to try to redefine ourselves because we can't do that right now. We can't encourage people to be in the masses. As far as the businesses, it was shut down really quick. And we're basically, our main core, although we're manufacturing and, a service organization, but we're a restaurant district. And so what happened is they had to really think quickly on their feet of how they were going to handle their business during this time. So we quickly had to come up with plans like gift certificate plans, and because everything was curbside and takeout for up until probably 2-3 weeks ago, where they could open at 50% capacity. So it definitely has been a learning curve, and one that I don't think many of us were prepared for, to be quite honest.
Okay, what kind of support have you provided the restaurants?
So early on, March, early April, we were trying to figure out what we could do. So we enlisted this buy now, shop later gift certificate program, so people could go on our site and buy gift certificates for area businesses. Because one thing we noticed about some of our small businesses, especially our restaurants, is they don't have website capability, and they didn't have the ability for people to purchase gift certificates. And the community really wanted to support the restaurants, and so we put this buy now, shop later program together, and we were able to raise $20,000 for our area restaurants. So, and Elmira Downtown took a portion of their special events budget, and we also received a small community foundation grant, so we were really grateful to be able to give those funds directly to the businesses.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about when Wisner Market normally starts and what happened this year and what kind of precautions you've taken to make it safer?
So we farmers markets across New York State has always been deemed essential, and we are a registered farmers market with the state. So, but we technically do not open until the beginning of June. And so we had really quickly actually it took us a couple of weeks to draft a COVID plan for our market, which we put in front of the Chemung County Health Department. We were 2 weeks delayed in getting the market open, but it was really just to make sure that we had all of our safety precautions in. So what we've had to do is, and you can look around, but you can see that we're barricaded in, we're fenced in. We have hand sanitizers all over, hand washing stations. We can only allow 250 people in at a time. So you'll notice we have an entrance and an exit. So we have people there doing head counts and talking to one another, so we know that our crowd never gets over 250. So it definitely, now remember this is our 23rd year, so on any given day in July, you could have 1,000 people in this park. So it's really been a new normal, which is not so normal.
Has the business been down this summer or
Actually,
about the same?
So this is our fourth week. This is our third week, maybe our fourth. Today it's a little light, but it's also going to be 98 degrees today. But last week we had a rotation of 700 people come in. So for the month of June, that's not really a decline in our attendance. We'll see how July and August goes. I think people are still fearful. You know, one of the requirements is wearing masks, and so no, we haven't really witnessed a decline. But we'll see in July and August how our numbers are, because that's usually we go by the calendar. So in June our numbers are usually low just because school's still in session, and I attribute to maybe school not being in session is why our numbers were pretty solid still in June.
Okay.
So.
Do you have any plans for any events either currently or going forward, even with the COVID?
So, as you may know, our Street Painting Festival, which was going to be celebrating 13 years this year, we would be hosting it next week. That brings up to 5,000 to 6,000 people in our downtown on a nice, cool day, not a hot summer day. No, we postponed it because you can't gather right now. But what we are going to do is we're going to do a virtual street painting festival. And so our artists are going to paint in their driveways and then upload on our Facebook page and our other social media platforms. And also, we have 8 artists. We received a arts grant a decentralization grant from the Arts of Southern Finger Lakes. And so we're going to have 8 of our featured artists at our local businesses, like our major sponsors, and they're going to be doing paintings Elmira centrics, and it's called Elmira Evolving, and it's based on past, present, and future. And so the artists, we tell them to tell their own story, but to use some type of Elmira centric, whether it's Thomas Beecher sitting behind me, or John Jones, or Mark Twain, or anything that touches their experience on living and being in Elmira.
Okay. I've seen signs around town about some kind of restaurant promotional Taste of Chemung County or something like that. Is that you guys?
That's not us. Taste of Chemung would be the Cornell Cooperative.
Oh, okay.
We were the Taste of Downtown, which is our major fundraiser, and we normally, the week, we were aimed to have that major fundraiser March 19th, and that was the week everything shut down. And this is happening to a lot of nonprofits. I mean, that event itself raises $20,000 for our organization to be able to do what we do. And unfortunately, we weren't able to have that event. So what we're going to do is we have about so many donations from our generous small businesses. We're actually getting ready to launch an online auction to support. And all of those funds will actually go into next year, hoping, fingers crossed, that we'll be able to have, larger events next year.
Okay. Has there been any upside to anything that's happened, or is it all just?
The upside is this community, which I shouldn't even say this is an upside, because, this community really embraces and supports one another. And if anything, I've just witnessed that even more. It is weird, because we usually have meetings with, our colleagues, and we sit in the same room and we talk. So, you have your Zoom meetings, so you don't have that personal connection. But the support that we have witnessed over the last couple months, and what our small businesses have witnessed, it doesn't surprise me with the community members of Elmira, really. It just shows that, it just makes me more proud of this community. This community is really top-notch.
Okay. Do you have anything to add about your organization's COVID experience?
It's been a little surreal. We've had to sit back. Some days we've had to definitely try to redefine ourselves and figure out how we're going to move forward with all of our events. We don't know what December's, we usually do a lot of holiday events in November. We support the parade, which is celebrating, I think, 65 years this year. It's just trying to figure out what our new normal is and how we can continue to support our small businesses and our service organizations and our museums, like the Chemung County History Museum. Our goal is to support everybody, and so right now we are doing the best we can, but we're going to think of things that we can do to make it better.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for speaking with me.
You're welcome.